Okay, cool. So we are recording now, so we'll jump into it. We'll just pop that up. Yeah, so thank you all so much for joining. My name is Ed, and I'm the founder of EVOSSI, and we're going to be running through the EVOSSI Explores Croatia trip for 2021. I haven't done it with a microphone before, so hopefully the audio is okay. I do feel like I'm about to host a podcast. But yeah, let's dive in. So this is going to be an 8-day multi-sport trip in beautiful Croatia. And we're going to be running through the itinerary and sort of what's included, and really a whole deep dive into food, location, and kit lists and things like that. So yeah, before we dive into it, so who is EVOSSI? So EVOSSI was born sort of at the end of 2016, and we actually started out creating sort of innovative running apparel, which had basically subtle pockets to carry things like your phones and energy gels and things like that. And our ethos was always around active adventure and sort of community and sort of supporting each other. And from there, we basically began hosting a series called EVOSSI Explores, which is the trips, really, the adventures. We've been to awesome places. We started out in the UK, so places like the Lake District and Snowdonia. And this shot here was actually in Dorset, which we held sort of an adventure retreat. And we had trail running and yoga, and there was mountain biking. We even had like a strength and conditioning class that a coach led. It was just like a really, really awesome winter break. So yeah, and we've pivoted more into these trips. Unfortunately, we've had to delay a couple that we were going to be hosting this year due to COVID. They were going to be to Chamonix and also to Cornwall, which was going to be like a surf and trail run trip. So we've moved those to next year, and everyone's been really supportive with that. So that's great. And I'm sure a few of you will have seen the trip to Norway that we launched in September. And it just feels like we're going in the right direction. These sort of small group trips, which just involve a mix of adventures, but also bringing people together from different backgrounds, whether you're a doctor, a painter, or even a student. Like, we've had a real range, so it's quite nice to keep it mixed. So our mission is to inspire movement and adventure in the great outdoors, and that can be as simple as, like, exploring a trail near to where you live, or venturing further afield around the UK or internationally, and sort of, oh, I think someone's joining. Yeah, we'll just let them in. Yeah, whether it's further afield and carrying that sort of sense of exploration with you wherever you're going, and doing it with like-minded people. I think that's one of the big draws. We have a mix of people who are solo, I was going to say solo travelers, but like guests who join the trips on their own. Sometimes we have buddies, sometimes we have small groups of friends, but everyone always just looks out for each other and has a great time. So yeah, just 5 of the values that I know some of you will be aware of, but this is what we sort of believe in at EVOSSI, and we've got a small team, and they are in no particular order, but to do with experience. So we feel that you can really learn both mentally, physically, and sort of holistically, really, through experience and learning and trying new things. The community element is really, really important to us as well, and just like, it's sort of just grown organically, and makes the adventures and the trips all the more fun, because people come from different areas, from different backgrounds as well. And yeah, thirdly, innovation. So we're always trying to push boundaries and do things slightly out the ordinary, and try to improve things that have been done traditionally. Moving on to, like, in the environment as well. We all know how important it is. We only have one planet, and it's up to us to sort of take care of it. And we've hosted run to cleans, so plogging, where we'll sort of meet in a location and have these blue bags and gloves. Often passerby, I remember he called us the Blue Glove Brigade, which was quite funny, but it's actually quite a good workout, and you pick up a load of litter, you're dipping and diving, and it's quite a good workout at the same time, and good for the environment. So yeah, and lastly, explore, that I touched on previously. So that's really the sort of underlying, like if there's one word that I'd associate with EVOSSI, it's that sort of, it is explore, and it's to discover new places and go down new trails and just sort of carry that sense of exploration with you. Awesome. Which leads us on to Croatia. And this is, so I'm just changing pages. Yeah, so this is the trip that we've been hard at work on for a couple of months now. And we wanted to do something sort of, well, that we hadn't done before, that was sort of out the ordinary, but also involved a mix of sports. And we found guests loved the variety. So not only will there be trail running, but there would be sort of yoga and other activities like kayaking or surfing, depending on the location. And Croatia, the theme is really a wild adventure, and we want to show you both the coastal region along the Dalmatia coast, and also more inland and the mountainous regions like Packraft National Park, and also sort of the Zrmanja River, which is where this packrafter is shot. So yeah, as you know, it's an 8-day adventure. There's going to be 16 people on each trip. And yeah, it's really, it's perfect for anyone who, well, likes adventure first and foremost, but also is up for trying a mix of different sports that we're going to touch on. So yeah, why Croatia? So as I said, we wanted to mix the sort of the coastal explore with the inland, and the itinerary that we've put together really, I feel really does that. Like we've got a mix of wild camping next to the Zrmanja River. We've also got some trekking where we stay in Packraft National Park, which is actually this image on the right here. Yeah, some of these places are sort of areas of outstanding natural beauty. So it's rugged and sort of wild, and to be doing sort of a multi-sport trip with different activities through these environments is going to be really awesome. And yeah, so the 2 dates are the 22nd of July to the 29th, and the 9th to the 16th of September 2021. Cool. So yeah, this leads on to the itinerary. So day one will be the arrival, and I'm sure some of you've seen on the website the bits and pieces to do with the itinerary and where you can fly into. So Split and Zadar Airport are both areas that we can basically pick you up from. So Split is, from memory, I think 1.5 hours from our first base, and Zadar is about 50 minutes. And they you'll be picked up and transferred to a place called Cascading, which is in the Velbet Nature Park, which is where this girl is stood. Absolutely beautiful place, and the campsite's sort of within here. So yeah, logistically, we ask that you arrive by sort of 4 p.m. And then you'll be transferred. If you do arrive earlier, we've got sort of transfers and which will be happening throughout the day. So you just need to inform us what sort of time you're going to be arriving, and then we can we'll do sort of probably 3 batches of transfers. And if you are there earlier, you can chill out, have a little explore around the nature park, and then in the evening we'll all group together, and there'll be like a welcome and sort of an introductory meal and outlay of the trip. So yeah, that's day one. Cool. So day two is the first trail run along the Zrmanja River. And it's between about 10 and 12K. And we will rise fairly early in the morning to beat the heat. We'll go for a beautiful run. We'll be able to cool off in the Krupa River at the end, which runs sort of adjacent to the Zrmanja. And they have beautiful canyons in this area as well. So we can well, take them in, but then we can also hike through them later in the day or after the run. And then in the afternoon after lunch, there's the option to go into Zadar and look around the city and look at the architectural wonders. And there's also a really, really beautiful sunset on the promenade. There's also one other cool thing that we've learnt is sorry, one second. Yeah, there's basically a water wall feature in Zadar, and it basically makes music with the waves crashing on it. Looks really, really awesome, and we'll be able to check that out. Day three is going to be a big day of pack rafting down the river. So you can see here some of the waterfalls and like the rapids we're going to be going through. We'll also stop for lunch along the way. That'll be a packed lunch. And we're able to, yeah, just take it in. So like these first couple of days are very much getting a feel for the area and in enjoying and exploring the Velebit Nature Park. And we're going to be able to go for like hikes and walks around the park and just get a feel for it. So that one will be 11K as well. Yeah, you can see the rafts here. So they're slightly different to traditional kayaks, but they're as sort of compact. So you're able to twist and turn very, very easily. Yeah, you don't have to have experience. So that's okay. You just have to be okay with water, I guess. And yeah, so day four is so this is where we actually set off to Packraft National Park. So we'll be transferred to the start of the trail. And yeah, for this one we're actually going to pack really light. So for this day we're actually only we're staying up in the mountain hut for one evening. But then on the following day, on day 5, we're actually trail running down. So the goal with this is to pack really light. So, you know, little running rucksack, you'll have your trail shoes on, some shorts, some really light. And we'll basically head off to, you know, like a dry towel as well for swimming along the way. So yeah, we'll start the hike or the trek at the start of the canyon in Velika Packraft. And this travels along the river, and there's about halfway there's a place called Manita Cave. You may have seen some of the pictures on Instagram or on the website of the caves and the insides, and yeah, it's really, really quite beautiful and very different. And then we will continue sort of trekking up. And basically for this day, the goal is to get to the mountain hut. And from here we'll be greeted with like a shot of local snaps, which is a sort of Croatian liqueur kind of alcoholic drink to wake us up. And then if some of the group or all of the group want to head up further, you can actually go and visit an abandoned village, which is slightly further up the mountain. So again, you're going to have time to sort of relax and do your own thing as well. And they're quite fan of Boca Ball, which is this sort of game that they play. So we can get involved with that with them. Cool. So yeah, day 5 is the trail run. So this is going to be sort of a mountain run descent, and it will be taking in a different route to the one that we came up. And the terrain is sort of hard packed trails. It's going to be warm, so we'll need to stay hydrated 100%. And when we reach the bottom, we're going to be like hot and ready for a swim. So we're going to head to a beach called Stagrid, off the top of my head, which is near to Skradin. And yeah, this trail run is going to be about 10 to 15k, and then we'll head to Skradin, and sort of this is where we're going to be based for the hotel, and we're going to go through the accommodation in a little bit. But this evening, this will be the start of the hotel stays actually, so we can sort of base our things there, and our kit will be transferred. And then there will also be sort of an optional yoga session in the evening to sort of ease our joints after a few days of activities, if you are keen. So yeah, this leads on to day 6, where we do the sea kayaking to Zlarin Island. Yeah, really excited for this one. And we basically venture to a UNESCO World Heritage Site called St. Nicholas Fortress. I don't know if any of you have Googled it or checked it out, but it's this really awesome sort of arrow-shaped defense castle. It was also in Game of Thrones, I think. Just very rustic, very old school, and carries a lot of sort of historical heritage. And this will be a full day of sort of kayaking out through the bays, and then also to that St. Nicholas Fortress site. We'll also stop for lunch on the island in Zlarin, and then we'll sort of loop back. And again, with this day, there's going to be time to sort of head through the town of Zlarin, and sort of take the sights in. So we're not sort of constantly doing activities. I mean, there are activities every day, but there's also going to be some time, like some downtime, to actually take it all in, and enjoy the holiday. Yeah. So then day 7 is we're going to be transferred to a place called Croatia River. And this is a really awesome spot, and it's quite remote. And we will have a day of mountain biking. And this heads for the river called Lake Visic. And this in Lake Visic is a monastery. And we'll have basically a small boat that will take us to the middle of this islet, where they have this monastery, which is run by monks, and we'll have a short tour there, and we can sort of swim around in Lake Visic, and just take it all in. So basically the goal with this trip is sort of to have a mix of like awesome adventures, and then also learn a few things and have a cultural insight along the way as well. So I think it's quite a fun way to match that with the different sports. Yeah, and then on day 7 in the evening, yes, we'll have a dinner, and then we'll have sort of farewell drinks with the guides, and the team in Skradin, because this is our final evening. And that's 7 days. And then from here, day 8 will be goodbyes, and we'll have the transfers that can take you back to Zadar or Split Airport. Depending on whether you've booked for the morning or for the afternoon, we can transfer you at that time. If you do have free time available, you can go paddle boarding. You can borrow the stand-up paddle boards, or go walk around Skradin, or swim on the beach. So there is flexibility there as well. You can also stay longer if you wanted to go off and do your own thing, head into Slovenia or somewhere further afield. But that will be the 8 days with the EVOSSI trip. So a kit list. This is sort of a rough overview. Obviously, it's going to be summer. It's going to be warm. So a mix of sort of lightweight tees and shorts. maybe a sort of a down jumper for the evenings. Waterproof jacket's always handy. Yeah, as you can see, just standard things really, to keep you going on a trip like this. But we would send you sort of a complete, comprehensive list as well, in your welcome packs. So let me just check with. Cool. So yeah, so for the accommodation, so for the first 3 nights, we'll be at the campsite in the Velbet Nature Park, and they do have access to showers. We'll also have some beautiful sort of home cooked food from a local family. And yeah, this is within the nature park, so it's great access for our pack rafting and trail running and just exploring the national park really. And then so that's for 3 nights, and then on the 4th night, we'll be in the mountain hut. So once we've trekked up to Packraft National Park, we will stay up there before the second of the trail runs back down to land. And yeah, so the final 3 days will be in a hotel in Zrmanja, which is a really, really nice. It's quite a small place. I think there's only about 20,000 or 10 or 20,000 inhabitants. So it's quite a small town. As you can see, like a really beautiful dock here, that we can do paddle boarding and swimming and things. And also just take in the local atmosphere. So yeah, with the EVOSSI trips, we always partner with sort of qualified international mountain leaders to help lead them. So this is Anya on the right here, and she'll be helping us lead the trip. And all of the guides that we work with are sort of qualified in first aid, and sort of safety management, also driving sort of minibuses, with up to, I think we'll have 2 minibuses. Yeah, so the group's 16 people per trip, so we'll have 8 minibuses. And yeah, they're all certified in the different sports as well, in terms of like kayaking, pack rafting, and yeah, general outdoor leadership. So yeah, the food is quite a mix. So breakfast and dinners are provided, and they will involve things like meats, eggs, vegetables, pasta, and we can accommodate for all dietary requirements. And on the booking form on the website, you're able to note down if you have any allergies or your preferences, basically. So that's not a problem. Tap water is drinkable in Croatia, so we advise bringing a refillable water, and we're drinking a lot of that to stay hydrated. Yeah, we'll also have a few local dishes. So on the first evening, when we're when we have the big welcome dinner with the family, we'll sort of create, and then also in the mountain hut, I think they're gonna create a local Croatian dish, which I think is like a stew. So if you are vegetarian or vegan, do let us know ahead of the trip, and they'll basically accommodate and rustle up something else. Cool. So I feel like I'm just sharing a lot of information here, so hopefully it's not too overwhelming. But yeah, so what's included, you can read here, and it involves a mix of things. So all of the sports, so the pack rafting and the kayaking and the equipment, and of course the guides as well, and the transport in Croatia. So once you fly to Croatia, we basically, yeah, we help, or we lead the trip, keep you safe, and we work with guides that are experienced in the local areas. So you can have a read through here of what's included, but it's pretty much everything other than flights, lunches, and travel insurance. I know travel insurance is, it's you can get good sort of sporting sort of adventure travel insurance for about £25-30, so not not too bad. And the lunches, because we're going to be on the move quite a lot, we'll often get that out. So that's an overview of what's included. So I'm pretty sure you've all seen this map of where we're going to be heading. So day one, this is actually Zadar. So Split is slightly further down, just around here, and our central point for the start will be up here at the Velebit Nature Park. So we'll be around this area, and you can see this jagged sort of black line is the Zrmanja River. So that's what we're going to trail run along, and also packraft. And then you can see the hiking, which will be in this region up here. So that's where the sort of that's where the transfers will be handy to help us to basically see more of the country and sort of these wild areas. So we're going to see a good mix of like inland sort of big rivers, mountainous regions, but then also some sea kayaking in the sort of southern region. And yeah, the price is 1399, and we have sort of two options. You can either pay, the most popular is to do monthly installments, so it's a 25% deposit, and then I think there's 3 monthly installments, or you can pay it up all in one go. And yeah, obviously with COVID and trips and travel, it's been a bit of a strange time. So we basically want people to book and be as confident as possible. So if the trip was to be postponed, or anything to do with COVID, really, we can either, the first instance would be to move the date of the trip. Otherwise, you could be credited to a future trip or receive a full refund. So we just want to make it completely sort of transparent for you before booking. And yeah, I mean, the goal is for you to have an awesome time. So we just want to be up front. And that is everything. So yeah, thank you for listening. We have 16 spaces per trip for both the July and the September. Yeah, please fire away. Does anyone have any questions? Is anyone still there?
It seems like a lot of fun. My worry would be, how fit do you have to be, like for trail running and stuff? With only 16 people, it would be hard to keep people based on pace, like have a few different pace groups. So what are your plans for that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, so we would typically have sort of, if there were speedier guys, they would be in a slightly faster group. And if it was a natural split, it really depends on the group and the fitness levels. But we always have a back marker as well, so no one's sort of left behind. And yeah, it's not really a racing environment. So often groups do stay together. Sometimes there's a natural spread, but we often we'll have breaks along the way to regroup and to hydrate and take pictures and things like that. So often you are actually with each other quite a lot. No worries.
How does the accommodation work? Is it so many per room or 10 or?
Yeah, good question. So typically it would be 2 people sort of sharing of the same sex. Obviously with COVID and sort of keeping self-distancing, if we needed to do that in July or September, we would have enough space to either accommodate for that. So normally it would be groups of 2, but if we needed to, we would do it individually, depending on the government restrictions.
I have one other question, food related.
Yes.
Because I about food a lot.
Okay.
On day 3, you mentioned about we take a packed lunch. Do we get that from the park, or does that come included?
So no, the lunches aren't included. So it's just breakfast and dinners throughout the 8 days of 7 days, and there's breakfast on the 8th day. No, but the lunch on the third day, we would pick that up sort of en route from a local
Okay.
shop.
Okay.
Any other questions to do with the trip or flights or anything at all?
I don't think so.
Nice. Christian, have you got any, bud?
No, mate. I think I'm all good. Yeah, I think probably what I might do is, if depending how I'm getting there, I might drive. Well, my missus might drive from Hungary. We do go. So it might be we just sort of park at the airport, or maybe just get a cheap flight from Hungary to Croatia, or
Okay, yeah.
Croatia to Hungary. I don't know what we're doing yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, we're probably gonna be there before or afterwards.
Make a longer trip of it.
Yeah. So,
Awesome.
yeah, we'll see.
Cool. Yeah, let me know if you want any help sort of logistically sorting that out. More than happy to do that.
Yeah, nice one.
Nice. Just have a quick flick through. Yvonne or Alex or Kirsten, have you got any questions?
No, I'm good, thank you.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Cool. Okay then. Well, yeah, if you do have any questions, please drop me a message. You can either do it on my personal Instagram or on the EVOSSI Instagram, and we can get those answered. But we're really excited to get it launched. I think it's going to be an amazing trip. So hopefully you guys can join.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'd be great.
No worries.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.